Hi everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to share my latest eBay purchase, which is a realistic TRC-465 AM with sideband radio. I picked this up on eBay for $75 on a buy it now option. I've been keeping my eye out for a sideband radio. When I saw this one come on there with a buy it now option, I immediately pounced on it. And from the pictures, it looked really good condition. And when I opened the box, I was thrilled to see it looks brand new. I mean, not even a scratch on the microphone on the back where it goes on the clip. I don't think this thing was used very much, if at all. Doesn't look like it's ever been opened up before. Receives and transmits really well. For those of you not familiar with this radio was made actually by Uniden, and it was produced from 1990 to 1996. When they came out in 1990, they sold for $199.95. I was able to go on the internet and they have all the old Radio Shack catalogs, so I was able to look it up. If you look at the back of it, you can see the date code there and how Radio Shack did it. The first digit is the month, the A is a separator, and the last digit is the year it was produced. Now, I know this was not from the 70s from looking at the catalogs, so I know the 9's going to be from 1989. So this one was actually one of the first ones produced. I had some time on my hands, so I went and I was looking at eBay at all the serial numbers on them, and I can't find one produced earlier in this, so I think I have one of the first TRC-465s. You probably noticed this weird Lego build right here. This is from my kids' Legos. I don't think they'll notice they have hundreds if not thousands of Legos in a box, so I borrowed some. I made a stand for the desk, so when you put it on here, it's raised above the desk and you're able to hear the speaker. I like to use this as my base unit. Yesterday I did a range test with this. I had one of my kids on my Realistic in the office here, and then I have this Uniden 510XL Pro that I put in my truck, and I went out about 6 miles and did a range test. I was able to hear and transmit fine. I have done with my Uniden here and my handheld old GE here, I was able to get out 8 miles once with that. So this radio puts out a little bit more power, so I'm pretty confident that this could reach 8 miles pretty easily. There's an adjustment on the AM in it, and you can turn it up. I went in there and actually turned it down a little because it seemed to be running a little high, and I've read where you don't want to have it turned up real high because you can burn out the finals. So anyway, I'm going to open it up and we'll take a look inside of it. Now to open it, you turn it upside down, and we have 2 screws on each side that we're going to remove. Here we are with it opened up. As you can tell, it looks pretty clean. Doesn't really look like it's been messed around with before. I did play around with these adjustments on these 4 pots over here. And the first one here I actually didn't touch. That one right there adjusts the power meter. It adjusts the bars on it, and I didn't want to mess with that one. This one over here is the ALC, which is the automatic level control and affects the transmit audio on the sideband. I actually read that you should turn that one up. It will increase the wattage on your sideband. Mine seemed to be running a little low according to my meter, so I turned it up, and I seem to get a little more power out of that. We'll see how that works once sideband's on. The next one over here is the automatic modulation control that affects the transmit audio on AM. I played around with that. I did panic. I turned it all the way up, and I think I was over-modulating, so I kind of turned it down again, put it more towards the middle where I think it should be. And when I took my radio out, I put the TRC in my truck and was transmitting back to the base, and I had this horrible squeal on the radio sitting on my desk, and I thought it was a modulation. It ended up being, for some reason, my SWR was off on my antenna. I don't know why. I've adjusted it before, but never for this radio, so I don't know if radios can have different SWR readings if you switch them out in the truck. So anyway, that was the squealing, and once I put this back and transmitted from my handheld to this radio, the squeal went away. Now the last pot here is the AM carrier. And the factory setting on this, from what I've read, was usually around 3.8. They cited on the air of cautions because they didn't want to have trouble with the FCC if they set it over 4. So mine was, according to my meter, was putting out way more than it should. And I've read where you can adjust it up to 7.5 watts, but you don't want to do that because the finals, you can overheat the finals over here, and that's not a good thing. You could burn them out. So I kind of have it set a little in the middle, maybe a little past. I don't want to put too many watts out. And there you have it. There's the inside. As you can see, like I said before, it looks pretty clean. I'm thinking in the future that I might get it recapped. I'd like to do it myself. I've never really soldered that much, so I'm thinking of picking up an old radio and maybe practicing on it and replacing the capacitors. Okay, we're hooked back up again. I thought I might give a demo of this. I have my old GE handheld CB here. I'm going to go put it in the back of my car, and we'll do a test on the transmit and see what it sounds like. All right, I have it in the back of the car. So let's go ahead and do a test. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3.
Well, that sounded pretty good, but why shouldn't it? It's only about 30 feet away, so I'm hoping I get a good signal. Anyway, there you have it. That's my TRC-465. And I'm looking forward to trying the sideband with Skip, and we'll see how it goes from there. Thanks for watching, and please comment if you have any comments or suggestions. Thanks again. Bye.